As we prepare to read the scriptures, let us join together in prayer. Let us pray. Spirit of God, move in and through these words and in and through our minds and hearts, so that we too might be your faithful witnesses and these words become your living word. To this end, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of each one of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. I don't remember a time that I ever preached from the Psalms, much, I'm sure, to the chagrin of one of the founders of our faith, John Calvin. So Lent, we're going to be preaching on the Psalms throughout. Let's turn our hearts and minds to the reading of Psalm 19. The heavens are telling of God's glory, and the firmament proclaims God's handiwork. Day to day pours forth speech, and night to night declares knowledge. There is no speech, nor are there words. Their voice is not heard. Yet their voice goes out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In the heavens, God has set a tent for the sun, which comes out like a bridegroom from his wedding canopy, and like a strong man runs its course with joy. Its rising is from the end of the heavens, and its circuit to the end of them, and nothing is hid from its heat. The law of the Lord is perfect, reviving the soul. The decrees of the Lord are sure, making wise the simple. The precepts of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is clear, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is pure, enduring forever. The ordinances of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, even much fine gold, sweeter also than honey, and drippings of the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is your servant warned, in keeping them there is great reward. But who can detect their errors? Clear me from hidden faults. Keep back your servant also from the insolent. Do not let them have dominion over me. Then I shall be blameless and innocent of great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. This is the word of the Lord. Amen. So I've been praying that prayer, stealing it right out of Psalm 19 for an awfully long time in the great tradition of the preachers, that last line of the psalm. I'm hoping they sound familiar. Today, as we begin our Lent journey, all of a sudden I had this image of me as a child getting out of the car and taking my Bible and putting it over my head because it was raining. And I got inside and I got in trouble for that. Because the Bible is holy, not to be defiled and used as an umbrella, my father said, not quite exactly how he put it. But the message was clear that this book was something to be revered and special and not to be used casually. A friend of mine asked today if I would be signing Bibles at the end of church. I don't intend to, and I'm not interested in preaching on that. The truth of the matter is, the book is full. Our Bible, our scriptures are full of stories of kings and tyrants and fools and murderers. That's not just King David, but even the followers of Jesus. It is easy for us as a congregation that is passionate about issues of justice to focus so much on those that we can find ourselves strangely ground down, only able to see those places and forgetting the places of beauty and joy. So, a few months ago, when the New Presbyterian Today devotional came across my desk about opening our eyes to the beauty of God, I thought, oh, I remember there was a scholar once I heard about at Princeton by the name of Elaine Scarry, who made this strange connection between the recognition of beauty in the world and justice, and I said, Her premise was that the idea is that the more that we are able to see beauty, take time to really take it in, that somehow within us enables us to see fairness and justice more clearly. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But I do want to talk about Lent for just a moment. The truth of the matter is, most most Lenten disciplines begin, or is the end of giving up chocolate or wine or other endeavors in our lives that may seem decadent. Sometimes we've been impelled to pick up practices instead of putting them down. Lent is that time where we cease in the church to sing Alleluia for 6 weeks, and a time where our 3 congregations get together to learn and to study, to fellowship and to worship, sharing a meal and learning the best we can. The truth is, so often Lent is about doing more or making ourselves give up things that it almost, if we're not careful, can sound like a pretty self-centered journey. How I might get more holy, how I might get right with God, how I can somehow do the things I'm supposed to do because God expects us to do certain things and then we get grace, right? That's a joke. There is nothing we can do in the eyes of God that can give grace. Grace is freely given, and our response then is to live that out in joy and thanksgiving. And oftentimes I'm left in Lent thinking, what does that have to do with the deeper issues of justice? The one where we began Lent with the passage that said, the fast that I choose, in Isaiah God speaks, is that we loose the bonds of oppression, that we turn away from the profit-making, that we care for the widow and the orphan, and then God says. So if we're not focused on those, it seems like it might just be a personal, spiritual exercise. It is one of the great heresies of North American Christianity, is to believe that following Jesus is about me and Jesus. Instead about the fact that it's about building community. None will be saved unless all are saved. So what I'm hoping with this journey, we'll have to do this together and see how well it works, is that we spend some time focusing on looking for the places of beauty around us, practicing it here, and then offering you to do the same when you leave this place. It is, I believe, in a culture of distraction, a revolutionary act to notice something we have not seen that has been in front of us the whole time, at least to be the first step. We're taking an awful lot of our teaching and preaching and even some of the images from the devotional for Presbyterians today. If you are someone who's interested in possibly looking at that, great. You can see me after worship and we can talk about how to get one for you. But if you're somebody who feels like a devotion is just one more thing I have to do, and if I don't, then I feel guilty, then don't do that. Find something else. But when we talk about beauty, and this is important, we have to ask the question, what do we mean? Whose definition of what is beautiful? Because in a culture that is drenched in white supremacy, that often looks mostly like whiteness. And that is not a biblical definition of beauty. Advertising in Hollywood's version, I think not. No, when we talk about beauty, what we mean is something deeper, that can notice the inherent beauty in all of creation, in each human being that has been wonderfully and fearfully made by God's own hand, to notice the things that humans have created that have beauty in and of themselves. The child's heart given in love. But to do this, to see this, we have to practice noticing the moments that we need to notice. To decide what is beautiful and what truly possesses beauty, we have to go back to the biblical narrative. I think giving the example of Jesus going out into the wilderness after he is baptized to spend time in a stark reality so that when he comes back, the first thing he says, I have come to preach liberation, freedom, release of prisoners, care for the widow and orphan, in that sermon. That is my hope on this journey. The idea that we can stop and notice as Jesus goes through his ministry the number of times where we see what looks to be an interruption turns out to be a moment of God's grace. A moment of teaching for the disciples. Jesus, shut her up, we're on our way. Jesus says, no. So that we can stop and notice the humanity in the face of the person who crosses our paths. somehow if we just go off into the wilderness, that's where the beauty is, and we'll come back and live in the ugliness of here. That is not the point. The point is there is beauty all around us. We have to have the eyes to see. So when Jesus begins his ministry, he goes out into the wilderness. Not the wilderness as a place of temptation, but a wilderness as a place of honing his ability to see what is right and what is wrong with the world. The temptation only comes at the end of the 40 days. It takes him that long to figure out for him to say no to the ways of oppression that he's offered in every one of those temptations. That's a sermon for another day. You'll have to take my word for it, or we can talk more later. Jesus takes this time of being, this time of centering, this time of learning to hone his ability to see, to understand more fully, to have compassion for those who stand in front of him in need. So that when the time came, he would know the path of discipleship and faithfulness. And the reason we have these stories is not just about Jesus, but so that we can follow in that example as well. Notice how nature, right now, if you stop, have you seen the trees are beginning, their buds are beginning to swell? I don't know if you've noticed that. And the only reason I noticed that is I spent a number of years outside, year-round, and we had to watch for that because we couldn't transplant them once they started. So we had to get them out of the ground, prepared to be sold in the trees before those buds begin to swell. So take some time this week and see if you notice. After a long winter, which I was ready to pack up and move out of town, spring is slowly creeping upon us. So notice. I mentioned scholar Elaine Scarry earlier. She writes about this connection between beauty and justice, between seeing and noticing beauty and an ability to understand the need for justice and fairness. Now that has to seem strange. When I first heard it, I thought, how do those fit together? Let's just work for justice, and beauty is a luxury afforded those who can afford it. Because I didn't understand what beauty was about. But here's the crazy thing, is after her work, I wasn't the only one that thought that might be dubious. And so a group of scholars and others got together and began to actually study that premise. They got people together who were willing to be part of this study, and they worked with them. And guess what they found is that her premise was true. Crazy enough. The researchers themselves were surprised that it turns out that focusing on beauty actually leads to a higher ability to understand fairness and justice. There is something in this, I believe God is telling us, about honing these skills of knowing, of noticing something, looking at art, looking at nature, looking at the other aspects of beauty that inspire human beings to justice. It's something higher than ourselves, moving us out of selfishness that leads to hoarding and arrogance. Instead, it leads us to fairness and equality. But whose beauty are we talking about? That can head us down a whole pathway about different definitions of beauty. Because here's the thing, some of you might be thinking of this now. What we know is that the Nazi regime was really keen on stealing art from everybody. But not all of them. They didn't like jazz. Greatest American art form, they couldn't see what it was. They had the art that only reinforced their definition of what was racially superior. And that is not what you're talking about. The authoritarians of this world like art, they just don't understand beauty. Instead, beauty knows no bounds. It shows up when we least expect it, if we are able to see it for what it is. In the laughter of others and children, in the humanity of another person, in the handshake, in the smile. If we can look beyond the images, the ways we've been told to see other people, we might actually see the full humanness, God-given image of God in other people. Or you might see, instead of a weed growing up in the sidewalk, a beautiful dandelion. I like dandelions. Or we might see the buds swell on the tree, and it'll give us hope not to pack our stuff and move south just because one more light dust of snow happened on Thursday. Or when music moves us in ways that we hadn't thought of, that lifts us up higher. To be human, created in the image of God, means we're called to notice the created order and the ways in which other humans are busy creating. In a culture of distraction and constant busyness, The ability to stop and to notice has power to bring not only liberation to our hearts and our minds and our bodies, but to inspire us to provide space for others to do the same. And so in this season, we're going to try to practice this in some small way so that you can begin to practice this through the season. This is where you need to pull your bulletin out and turn to the front cover. I'll get there in a second. So if you've got your bulletin there, you'll notice this picture. We wanted to blow it up larger, and it just got distorted after that. So I want you to take a moment, and I want you, now that you've got it in front of you, I want you to close your eyes and follow a few instructions here. I want you to take a deep breath, in through your nose, and out through your mouth. Do that a couple of times. Feel yourself fully sitting in this seat, present in this room. Now you can open your eyes. I want you to look closely at that picture. I want you to look over the contours of the mountains, the snow in the background, the green shade brush that's on the bottom. Just let your eyes roam over that picture for a moment. Recognize that God's glory is everywhere, even in this space. Take a moment to notice, what is it that your eyes are most drawn to? Focus on that spot for just a few moments. I want you to look up. And now when you look at the picture again, try to see the whole picture. What things do you notice? Does this picture in any way evoke emotions for you? Possibly memories? Where is God at work? Now for some of you, that might be a strange exercise, thinking, what's this got to do with anything? But wherever you find yourself in the coming week, if you have a moment, it doesn't matter where you are, you can stop and look at what is in front of you. It isn't necessarily a picture. You might find yourself walking between buildings. You might find yourself in the basement sorting through who knows what. You might find yourself in the kitchen preparing a meal, noticing the smells. Taking a moment once this week, you can do it as many times as you'd like, but take a moment in this next week to find one space that you don't even have to be, I'm not going to tell you exactly the kind of space you need to find. This is still early on in our journey, so just find one space that you will decide to stop and look around. Say, well, what am I noticing? It might be the job that's left undone or the dust that you didn't get with the broom. But it might be something else. And then ask yourself, what is God trying to reveal to me here? What can I learn in these moments? You may not get an easy answer. You might have looked at this picture and go, that's nice. What's he doing this for? Just keep trying. Just keep trying. Because the journey of faith is not a one-for-one situation. We can't do something and have the immediate return. It might take some time to get into this practice. We are bombarded with images and moments and buzzes and tweets and all sorts of things all the time that can leave us feeling ground down, tired, and cynical. And that is exactly where the powers of the principalities of the world want us to be. So you may want to give up chocolate or wine or other desserts or television, or you may want to add a practice so you can add this visualization practice if it doesn't feel too heavy. But the truth of the matter is this journey is about stepping back in whatever way we know how, trusting that this is a reset button. And because I believe in this noticing, this ability to see the world in new ways, it will lead us to deeper understandings of fairness and justice. So that when we finally get to the empty tomb, God's great yes to the powers and principalities of the world saying no to death, that we will be inspired to acts of kindness and justice